Have you ever carried grief so heavy you felt like no one else could possibly understand? Well, that silence, that loneliness, it screams louder than any noise I've ever heard. I've been there. And when I lost my only son, Logan, I felt like the world kept moving, but I was frozen in place. And in those moments, grief told me the biggest lie of all. You're alone in this. But here's what I've discovered. Your grief story matters, not just for you, not just for the person you lost, but for others walking through the valley too. And when I lost Logan, I thought I had to carry the pain in silence. I told myself, no one could ever understand this ache. But the truth, when I finally began to share my story, even in small, trembling ways, other grieving hearts stepped forward. They would say, "Me too," or "I feel that way too." I thought I was the only one. And suddenly I realized I wasn't walking alone. You see, grief isolates us. It convinces us to hide in the dark, to put on the brave face, to suffer quietly. But there is power, holy healing power, when we bring our pain into the light and say, "This is my story." Grief comes like a tidal wave. One phone call, one diagnosis, one moment that splits your life into before and after. That moment with Logan shattered me. And maybe you've had that moment too. The moment that stole your breath. The moment you wake up replaying that very moment. But I want you to hear this. You're not weak for grieving. You're not broken beyond repair. And your grief, that's the price you pay for love. Now, something shifts when we share. When we say, "I'm not okay." You see, vulnerability isn't weakness. It's courage. And when we share our grief, we give others permission to take off their masks too. We create a community where healing can begin. Think about it. Hasn't there been a moment when someone's story made you feel less alone? That's the gift you hold too. And here's what I've learned. God doesn't always answer grief with explanations. He answers with His presence. And sometimes that presence looks like a scripture that shows up just at the right moment. Sometimes it's a friend who texts you, not even knowing what you're going through. And sometimes it's a feather, a song, a memory that whispers, "You're not alone." When I began to share Logan's story, I started seeing these holy threads woven into my days. And I believe God uses our stories to carry His comfort into each other's lives. Galatians 6:2 says, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." Notice, it doesn't say fix each other's burdens. It says carry them. That means we don't have to have all the answers. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to be willing to walk with each other in the valley. And that's what we're here doing. That's why your story matters. So I want to invite you right now to share your grief story in the comments below. Share how you found comfort in your loss. Tell us the moments God has met you in the silence. Or maybe just write the name of the person you're grieving so we can honor them with you. Because you never know, your story might be the very lifeline someone else is praying for today. I know grief feels unbearable. I know it feels like no one else could possibly understand. But I promise you, you're not alone. This space, this community, it's proof that grief doesn't have to isolate us. That even in our pain, we can find each other. And when we find each other, we find God right in the middle of it. So hold on. Keep sharing. Keep showing up. And know this, your grief story matters. Your loved one's memory matters. And your healing matters. I'm Angela Frazier, holding space for your story as I share mine. Together, we can walk through grief and discover the comfort only God can bring. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more faith-filled content, stories of hope, and Logan's legacy. Get your free devotional journal, Beauty in the Valley, inspired by Logan's journey home at the link below. With love always, Angela and Logan.